Hi guys, my name's Rebecca and I'm the CEO and founder of the Film Festival Doctor, and welcome to my YouTube channel and episode 3 of my new series, the Film Festival Doctor's Guide to Navigating the Festival Circuit, which is very exciting. So today we're going to be showing you how to use Film Freeway. Now, as I mentioned in episode 2, and just to clarify, Film Freeway is not the only platform to submit your film to festivals. It's the most popular because everyone has to use it at some point during their festival submission process. There's a lot of festivals on there. It's great to use. I used to navigate. It's very well, laid out. There are some issues with it, which we'll go through, but generally, it's pretty good for filmmakers to use to submit their film to festivals. The golden rule, before we look at Film Freeway in more detail, is that you need to have a streamlined and targeted and focused strategy to refer to and use when you submit your film to festivals. Doing a scattergun approach, doing a random festival approach is not going to get success and it's quite detrimental. So my advice is always, first and foremost, to use Film Freeway in the best way and to save money and to submit to the right festivals is to always have a strategy. That's the golden rule. Now, when I go through Film Freeway with you, I'll show you how to set up your project page and how to use it to the best advantage. Now, there are other platforms besides Film Freeway. You might have to use Fest Home, Fest Agent, Short Film Depot. If you're going to submit to Clermont-Ferrand, they only use Short Film Depot. Some festivals do not use any, like Venice and Cannes and Berlin, for example. They just use their website and have their own system and own formula. So just bear that in mind, that you're going to not have to use it for everything, but it will be quite a lot on Film Freeway. And so people just end up using just Film Freeway because everything's on there. And sometimes you'll find that some festivals are on all of these other platforms. So when that comes to it, it's just best just to use Film Freeway just to make it easier and easy for time management and keeping everything in one place for your submissions. So let me show you how to use Film Freeway. Now, I actually also run an online course of the same name, which is a 3-week course, runs every month for 3 weeks, once a week. And it's this series, but in more detail and obviously more bespoke. So you can sign up for that by all means. This just gives you a good taster and what to be aware of. So let's begin. Let me share my screen again, like I always do in these episodes. Now, this is Film Freeway, obviously. So you better pretty much just type in filmfreeway.com and it will come up. And the first thing you have to do is create an account. So you'll see here, this is where you can create your account. So I already created one a long time ago. So on your settings is where we have to make sure that we have settings are correct so that you get the best from it. So obviously put in your, the obviously basic things that name and email. Need your email because obviously when Film Freeway sends you emails about acceptances, rejections, other kind of things, that you have an email that is active and that you check all the time. Phone number, I put my email, but you can do either. This isn't relevant, so you don't have to put gender or birth date, but this is very, very important. If you're going to be paying in pounds sterling, I mean, I live in the US, I work in dollars, but my company I also have a company in the UK. So when we do Film Freeway, we use the company credit card in the UK. I have to submit on pounds sterling. If you live in the UK and are submitting to festivals that are in USD, you could end up losing money and wasting money because you have to pay the bank charges and all these little hidden costs that add up and can eat into your submission budget that we spoke about in the previous episode. So make sure that it sets the currency that you use every day and what your bank card is registered to. That's crucial for the main part. Now, your profile can be as detailed or as minimal as you like. You don't have to put everything on here. I don't put anything because it's not essential. So if you want to, you can, but I've left it blank because it's not crucial. Film Freeway Gold is really, really beneficial. Now, if you're going to be doing a lot of submissions, like, more than say 40 and not like just 10 or 5, then I recommend being a Film Freeway Gold member, because you can save money and you'll get that money back each month. So you can do it yearly. So I do yearly because obviously I use it every single day, but you could just be probably best for you so you do it like monthly. So do it, just pay per month that fee, which is like, $12.99 a month is not expensive. You get that back through savings. And, probably more than that possibly. And also you do get other benefits than just saving money. You get 10%, which is off entry fees, but also they have protection with submission. Sometimes you have to pay protection fee. So that gets waived, and there's no service fee. So all these little things that can eat into the submission budget, you get waived by being a Film Freeway Gold member. So the key things obviously are saving money on entry fees, getting those all important little hidden, things that you don't notice waived, that being submission protection and the service fee. And they can add up the more submissions you do. So definitely be a member. If it's just going to be a few months submissions, just do monthly. If you're going to do it for a long time with more films, do it yearly. But I recommend that small investment because it can go far and save money in the long run. Now, email preferences are also important. I mean, I have all of them because I always like to see, what other festivals are up to and what they're doing, keep on top of things, newsletter, see what, what's happening and what's what, basically for my research, because I'm a strategist. But for you, the most important emails that you must receive will be this one, judging status alert. So that tells you if you got into a festival or not. The submission status alert, so you know when it's changed from, accepted to rejected, or undecided to accepted or rejected. Watch notification is also important. So really, it's kind of like those three. Deadline cart reminder can also be helpful, because that way sometimes you might put submissions in the cart and forget about them. So it's always good, to get a nudge that you've got to check out before the price goes up. But they are crucial. The other ones aren't essential, because sometimes you can get a lot of emails per day about this festival just opened up, this random festival, this festival might be of interest to you, So again, if you want to just limit your inbox, then make sure it's like 3 or 4 of the key alerts, that being judging status, submission status, cart deadline reminder, and what else was that I said? Oh, and festival reviews. Transactions is quite helpful. It just tells you where the money's being spent. It's good for accounting and good for your production team, to check where the money's going. So this is a very helpful tab because it tells you exactly how much you're spending and where. Also, some festivals allow you to create your own laurel on Film Freeway. Some festivals don't allow you to do that and ask for you to use their Pacific laurel for their branding. But sometimes you do it yourself, which you can do on Film Freeway, which is very handy. It takes like 2 seconds to do and is, again, useful. Reviews is good. So it tells you what festivals you reviewed and what you said is always good. So just, it's not essential, but it just keeps everything in one, organized place. Marketing services, I would ignore this, to be honest. I don't like this part, because this is where people can get discounts, and it's not specific to your film. It's very random. So it's not like, all right, he's got documentary, it's Art House. Here are Art House Documentary Festival codes. They're just very broad. So if I were you, I would not suggest to partake in this, because it costs money and it might be very little in return. So ignore this. All you need is the right strategy, not anything like marketing the film, because it does not work at all. So just ignore them. Ignore these completely. So marketing services, ignore. Settings is quite good. If you want to merge accounts with another account, you can do that. So if you've got like someone like me, then we also have access to and get the emails. My lists are quite helpful, because this is where we have a list of, what's on the watch list, festivals that I'm looking at the minute that I want to keep track of when they open deadlines. Screenplay festivals, I have several clients now that have overdue screenplays. So I've got some festivals in there looking at for when they open, some on the, keeping things on tabs on things that open as deadlines. These are quite helpful, having lists. You can check them like once a week to see what's coming up or what's opened. It's always helpful. It's in one place. It's like an organized kind of, like in boxes almost, you could say. Download requests are also good. because some festivals like to download your film straight off Film Freeway when they want to, when they select it, and it's easier for them to download from Film Freeway. So they ask you for permission. So it's always good to check this, check that you've not missed any. It's always very helpful. Account credit is also helpful too. So it just tells you what refunds you've got, or an order you placed recently, this kind of thing. So that's quite good, so you can keep track about the budget and not making sure you keep on top of things. And a help page, a help center. So this gives you a good information on what Film Freeway does. And it's good to read, and when you've got the time, but it just tells you how to use it. And it's always good just to read this before you get stuck in, so that you've done your research and you're all up to date. Okay, so that's that tab. So that's the tab here, which is your account settings. The most important thing then to look at and get to know and understand is the all-important dashboard. So a dashboard is where it contains all what you need to know regarding your film. Now, obviously, first of all, it's got your information, which you need. Now, there are some things on this dashboard that are really good. It's kind of literally like a dashboard. You'll go to everything's in the right place, what festivals are coming up and notifications you might have missed. So the best part of this dashboard that I feel is this part, notifications. I love it because you might have missed an email or got into spam or went astray, or the usual things that emails do and the weird email things that happen. So notifications are great because you don't miss things. So for example, I've got an update to the watch list, a festival that I've marked as that I'm watching as open submissions. I've got a review Scene Festival, when my films was there. I'm going to write a review to give it a good review. Congratulations, I got into a film festival. This is all very useful because it tells you, what you got into and what you need to just keep up to. So really look at this a lot. It's very helpful to have notifications, and it just keeps you organized and in sync. This section here is also wonderful. I love this part, but it does have its drawbacks. Now, it's quite helpful looking at this section because it tells you what festivals you are due to hear back from and when. The problem with this, and this is not Film Freeway's fault, is that sometimes festivals do not tell you on the date they say. So it's like I said in the first episode, every festival is different. You might find out before this deadline, before the notification date. They might tell you a few days in advance. They might tell you on the day they say. They might tell you a few days later because they're running behind schedule. They might not tell you at all until after the festival. So again, it's extremely important, absolutely crucial, that you do not look at this every single day and take it with a pinch of salt. We might hear this week, we might not. For example, this festival informed me 2 days ago didn't get in. These 3 festivals told me that the film, all three films got in via email 2 days ago. This festival told me on WhatsApp, because I know them, 4 weeks ago. So this is why you can't look at this and go, right, it's the gospel truth, because it isn't. So please be flexible with this and don't look at it every single day, because that's when it can get stressful. I have clients that say at midnight, well, we haven't found out yet what's happening. It's because it's not set in stone. So take it with a pinch of salt and go, okay, we're going to hear back probably today, maybe, or, probably sometime this week. We'll just wait and see what happens But just don't take it as gospel truth. This is quite handy to a degree. It just tells you where you sent it to, where in the world you sent it to, how many selections, how many submissions. So obviously I have a lot of films on here, so that's quite varied, but yours will probably be a lot less than that because it's going to be to say like 1 film or 2 films maybe. But it just tells you how many submissions you've done in Canada, so 87. US have done 1,105. USA, on the other side of USA, North America, Brazil, Russia. So it's extremely helpful just knowing where you've sent it to and, which parts of the world. It's always good just to keep a track of where in the world it's going out to. And this is not helpful. This is just advertising. When it says festivals you may like, it might not be right for your film. So my advice would be to ignore it, because, for example, your film might not be a horror. So why would you want to submit to a horror film festival? So just ignore it. Just doesn't exist. This is quite good. I mean, I have 31 projects on my Freeway page. I have actually just have a lot more to get rid of them because there were so many, but I just keep these as active projects. 31 of those. And it just tells you, you know, how many submissions you've received, sorry, how many submissions you've completed, how many selections you've done. So this is quite nice because I've just done one submission and one's pending, because it's a web series. It's episode 2, but the first one is episode 1 is a pilot. We've done more of those, and it's got into 2 so far, which is great. I'm waiting for 20 more. Same with Call Me Miles. We've got into 2 and not got into a couple of others. It just tells you like the ratio. So it's quite helpful just knowing stats and where you're at. This is also good. A watch list is also good, just tells you what's coming up. So deadlines here for some festivals. Palm Springs is in 10 days, just reminds you. So it's always good to keep intact. That's why I say it's good to look at this dashboard every Monday, or, you know, a day of the week when you've got time, where you've got time to look at it properly, because that way you can just get in a system and see, you know, what's coming up, what you might have to do, what's missing, or, you know, just have like a festival day is a nice day just to spend. Ignore that, as we said before. Lower crater, use that if you have to, and that's your dashboard. So it's very helpful. Now, the thing about Film Freeway is, as I mentioned before in episode 2, is that yes, you can use it to research festivals. Let me pause for a moment. You can use it to research festivals. You know, what could be good fits for your film. Now, I'll go into this in more detail when we do the one-to-one course online. But as an FYI and a heads up, Film Freeway makes a lot of money, not just through commissions, through festivals, but advertising. So all of these festivals here pay money to advertise to be at the top. And all these festivals here as well, you know, they pay money to advertise, not all of them, but some pay money to advertise in certain of the categories. So the best thing to do when it comes to researching if a festival that you hear of, if you look at and think might be good, is an actual festival, is to look at the pictures and look at the stats. So let's do an example. Let's do Evolution Mallorca Film Festival. Okay, so clearly that's a nice picture of Spain, Mallorca. Now, here's a good sign. It's one of the 50 festivals worth their entry fee in Movie Maker. So that sounds like, you know, it's a good thing. But what really matters, no matter how much PR they've got or branding or whatever it is, what really matters is the pictures. Is this an actual physical film festival? Right, here's a good thing. So Mads Mikkelsen, he's been a Hollywood star. He's been to the festival, and he's there because he's behind the poster. He's not being photoshopped. He must be really physically there. So let's go on for more evidence. Okay, so this obviously has a budget to factor in stars and celebrities. Okay, so what we want to see, a full house, a full audience. This is a really, really good thing. Okay, clearly there's locals that attend, filmmakers attend, and it looks like it's full to the brim. So it's obviously in a very nice theater. So that's also a very good plus factor. As we said, this is a good thing. It's, you know, it's a very good thing, good marketing. Oh, she's had Danny DeVito has been there, and he's at the festival because he's standing behind what we call a step and repeat. So that means that you're at the festival, you get pictures, that's where you are. All the sponsors are there as well. You know, it's actually him, it's not been photoshopped, he's actually physically there himself, which is a good thing because it means they've had celebrities there, they have people come in attendance. That's Sandra, the lovely Sandra, doing an intro. And above there, clearly she's got a big screen that they're going to show the films off, and she's there, you know, presenting the film. And you know, she obviously has as well the festival's branding and the sponsors, so shows it's live. Oh, there's a filmmaker with an award, so we connected it. Full house again. Someone's won money, 3,000 euros, so 2 awards, obviously very good. And he's there at the festival, red carpet, second repeat. More winners, exciting. Another full house, filmmakers. There's another filmmaker, well, obviously famous person as well, outside the festival in the sun. 7 repeat, they've got red carpet. Another full house, doing a Q&A. Mads Mikkelsen again, very good, very good. Oh, more filmmakers, all having a good time, it's a lot of fun. Another full house, another Q&A. Someone else has won. Getty Images. They've got a budget to get Getty Images that take pictures of official, legit events. This is a good sign as well. He's getting an award. Very good. Another picture, filmmakers together. More pictures, more evidence. It's Matt Nicholson again. Loads of press, local press and stuff. That's also exciting. Very, very good, because it shows obviously that there's press coming in attendance. Another picture of a filmmaker. That's great. More great stuff there. People are winning more money. Money here. More filmmakers. So you see what I mean. This is how you can identify that. Yes, they screen the films. Yes, they have press. They have local press. They have an audience. It's busy. It's local. They've got kids areas as well. They've got people coming. They've got audiences. They've got Getty Images. This shows it's a genuine festival that is worth submitting to and could be a good fit for the film. So there you go. Now, I'm going to show you now a festival which actually will help you identify what isn't a festival. So on Film Freeway, they have a lot of festivals. There's thousands. Last time I looked, actually, I think there was probably maybe like, I think there's probably 8,000. But that 8,000, you know, some of them are dormant, some haven't run after year one, some aren't open to submissions. Some actually are not film festivals, and they're what's called award competitions. Now, I actually got caught out by these back in the day, many years ago. I remember looking at them and thought, this will be good, you know, we can try and get some more awards for the film, because it was like, you know, an official competition. It turns out it was actually like, you know, you pay to win an award and you're going to get an award, and it's not actually a film festival. It's well, I suppose the word is a scam, because it's not a film festival. So here's a good example. Which one's a good example? Okay, here's this one. Now, these guys are very nice people, don't get me wrong, but it's not a film festival. It's an award competition. It doesn't run physically, it runs online. So like you just saw with Evolution Mallorca, this one is all, you know, pictures of awards at home. So, you know, celebrity with an award in her house. He's in his house. Okay, William Shatner's going to obviously, you know, charge for a picture. So they're all at their office, not in a festival. So is he, so is she, Cat, so is he. And they're not at a festival. Okay, they're getting awards, but they're not at a festival. And again, it's not what you want to do to get exposure for the film, to get it watched and seen by audiences. It's not a physical film festival. So we go more in depth in this during my online course, but that's a good example of how to vet the festival. Is it a physical film festival? Does it show films? I love this one in NYC. Now, one's a good example. Now, I love Stephanie, and her dog is just gorgeous, but she is phenomenal. She really means well, and she really works hard with the festival. Now, this is misleading because unfortunately, this festival, it runs once a year. It's physical. It's not every month. And it is very fair and ethical and juried by a lot of people. Now, it's called Winter Film Awards National Film Festival, NYC. It sounds like it's like an award competition, but it isn't. It's actually a proper film festival that celebrates diversity. Now, they obviously, here you can see it's a live film festival. You know, they have awards, people are there. There's a cake, there's lots of, you know, like stuff going on. There's pictures, they've got screenings here, they've got Q&As, you know, they've got obviously a lot of fun going on in NYC. Filmmakers together, you know, they're all there. You know, it's an annual festival. You can tell here that they, you know, have an audience. You know, it's obviously an event. You know, there's parties, there's filmmakers together, there's good network opportunities going on. You know, clearly it's a physical event. It's not an awards competition that doesn't run in someone's house or whatever. So, you know, the women in film, resources, you know, all this kind of thing. They've got people there. You know, look at this one here. They've got women in film, New York women in film. They've got animation. They've got women make movies. You know, they've got people who are going to help people. You know, so that shows you what I mean by that. Again, look at the pictures. How long has it been running for? Reviews are okay. They might not all be genuine. They could be totally fine, but the main thing that really, really matters to me is pictures. Does it screen in a theatre? Who organizes it? Is their website, Facebook, Instagram? You know, is that all genuine? You know, how many submissions they get gives you nice, good numbers, is always good. You know, so that's how you vet it all. Okay. Now, when it comes to sending your film to festivals, what you'll have to do is create a project page for your film. So when you go to your Film Freeway account, you go to My Projects. And here is where you submit your film to festivals. So you have to create a project page. So let me just show you an example. This is a project page for a short film of mine called The Mountain. So the project page needs to be comprehensive. So remember in episode 2, I mentioned to you, you've got to get everything prepared. Get your poster, trailer prepared, get your DCP ready for exhibition, your SRT if you need one. Get everything organized before doing anything, because that way it'll be nice to get everything organized. And the reason why is because of this reason. So see on here, on this page, we have everything the festival needs is there. Saying to a festival an empty project page just to film is not the best first impression, because they might think, well, have they not got a poster trailer? Are they not organized? They're not interested. There's many things that could give that kind of, those kind of questions can ask what festival programmers tell me. So you must make sure that you have all of that prepared to then put to your Film Freeway page everything that they need to make a good, strong first impression. Now, I like to really upload the actual film to the Film Freeway page, because it just means festival programmers have to just click a button, like play. The thing about with Vimeo, it's great, but they have to like copy and paste, and they might not have that much time, or maybe even leave Film Freeway. So having it there, just like this, is super helpful, and it's just more easier for the festival. So definitely, if you can, upload the actual film, and it will be safe, because you have to make sure your privacy, which I'll talk about in a minute, is set to festivals only, not public. So it's safe. So it's going to be fine. And put a watermark on if you wish, by all means. But I just prefer that to Vimeo or YouTube unlisted. But whatever you feel is best for you, you can do. But that always works for me. Have your trailer, 30-second, 1 minute, 1.5 minute maximum trailer for your film. A really good poster. It's a professional poster, like that's a gorgeous poster. That one's excellent. A synopsis that is succinct, not 10 pages, not going around the houses. Succinct and to the point is all you need. So this is very important, because a lot of festivals, the ones that I spoke with quite a lot, always like to read them, look at it and go like, oh, that could fit in our comedy program. Oh, that could fit in our mental health program. That could fit in our women filmmakers program. They start thinking where it could go if they like it, if it can fit. So that's why it's very important to keep it clear, succinct, to the point, and bring out its qualities and emotional aspects. So if you need help writing synopses, that's what we also can help with when we work with you. But just make sure the golden rule, to the point, succinct. Also, we need to add in up to 9, fill it with the whole 9 stills or screenshots. But do ensure that these are obviously good quality, and do not do behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, festivals do not want behind the scenes. Stills or screenshots. That's a beautiful screenshot. They need to be of a high quality, so that festivals can use them for to promote the film at their festival on social media, the website, and all of the kind of formats. Then you'll need a headshot, a clear headshot, and a bio. Now, obviously, keep it succinct and to the point, not the life story, just to the point. Talk about the background succinctly, how you got into filmmaking, why it's your passion, all that kind of thing is all you need to do. You don't need to go through the whole rigmarole, the whole details. Okay. Director's statement is also crucial. You need to explain and write down in words why the film looks the way it does, why it had to be made, and why it's important. Just put that in 2 sentences, no more. So example, the reason why The Mountain was made, this film, was because mental health is actually quite a taboo topic for males, for men's mental health. And the whole point of the film is to bring about conversation of mental health in a new way. So make, that kind of example. Why is this film different? Why should it be selected? What is it saying and doing that's new and fresh and original? That's crucial. Also, have your website and Instagram. Now, obviously, there are other things you can use like Facebook and LinkedIn, but I recommend Instagram, because a lot of festivals use Instagram to tag you if you've got a nomination, if you won an award or anything like that. So I would highly recommend that you definitely put your Instagram profile page on there. It can be your Instagram, or be the film's Instagram, or your production company's Instagram. Just make sure it's not a dormant Instagram account. Make sure people look at it frequently and they update it and all that kind of good stuff. That's very important. Website can be for the film, or for your production company, or for you. As long as there's a website that has your details on, people to get in touch with you is the most important thing. Okay. Also, what you'll need to very clear credits and specs. So with credits, obviously put in the key people: director, writer, producer, and the cast. And specifications, obviously, fill these in when you have to fill in project page. When you go into your project page, you can obviously click on creating a page. So make sure you put in all the key things. And that's that. So you'll find here as well, when you go to my projects, to do all this, click on add project. That's where you got to start. Then you fill in everything that I just showed you. And it won't take long to fill in. It'll be it's quite not exactly painstaking or laborious. It's actually quite good. This is very, very good. Let me just go back now to the mountain for you. Quite a few films here you can see. Let me go to the top one. So in the privacy section, again, remember, ignore marketing options, don't need that. Privacy section. Make sure you set it to festivals only, because that means that only festivals can see your project page. If you do public, it means the public can see it. So when they Google you, they'll see it. That we don't want. Keep it to festivals only. Okay. You'll have a personalized URL, which is pretty cool. And also, if you want, you can set it to festivals can either request that they download the video directly from you, or the festivals that you submit to can load the videos directly. It just depends. So it's up to you, but either one is fine. As long as you've set it to privacy as festivals only, not going to be a problem. So it's either or is not going to be an issue. Okay. That's where you can upload and change your project file, and also put the still frame and thumbnail. Load a still if you wish, and replace it or remove. Obviously, if your film is not in English, put some English subtitles and make sure it's burnt in. So I'm going to use another caption or wonder where they are. So that's the key things on the project page. Okay. The next tab to discuss the final part is submissions tab. Now, the best thing to do, I have a lot of films on here. If I were you, is the best thing to do to check your submission status is go to your film project title. So let's scroll down to forwards episode 1. This is a web series. So you'll see here that this submissions tab is nicely organized. It's a good thing with Film Freeway. It's really well organized. It's really nice to use. I love Film Freeway. As I mentioned, there are some issues here and there. But generally, it's very good for filmmakers to use, and I love it. Now, as you can see here, it tells you all the submissions that you've done so far and the status for each one. So it tells you the tracking number, notification date, again, approximate notification date, the date the festival runs, the date I submitted, the details of the festival, again, lovely and organized, the category I sent it to. Obviously, it's a web series, so I went into new media, obviously, because it's a web series. You can, if you wish, withdraw for whatever reason. If you don't want to do it anymore, or you've had a premiere policy clash, or whatever reason, you can withdraw. You won't get money back, but you can withdraw. If it's a pass, you can just archive it, and it will go in the Archive Submissions tab. Now, a cover letter is a funny one, because people always ask me, should I submit a cover letter to a festival or not? Now, it may or may not get read. That's the problem with cover letters. I never write them. I haven't written a cover letter since 2014. It's all about the right strategy that matters, not the cover letter. So if you want to write one, you can, but it may or may not get read. It might get read after they've done the submissions process and they've done selections. It might get read during or not at all, or it might get read because of courtesy. It really varies. Some do, some don't. Remember the golden rule? Every festival is different. And if you scroll down here further, you'll see here that when you get into festival, it will change to selected. If it doesn't get in, it will change to not selected. And also it might change to incomplete or disqualified if you've done something wrong. But generally, that's the code. And if you scroll down here, that's what they do. They withdrawn is what you do, withdraw it yourself. Disqualified means it might not be the right fit, or disqualified because you're not paid the fee, or whatever reason it could be disqualified. Incomplete means that you need to give them more information, which could be on the profile page, the project page, sorry, the Instagram link and all that kind of thing. But in consideration is the one which they should all see, the blue circle. Sometimes your status will change to also, aside from not selected, and well, obviously it stays undecided when you submit, but it could go to finalist, semi-finalist, quarter-finalist, nominee, honorable mention. So the film has not got in, but it's been highly regarded by the judges. It will be an honorary mention. Nominee means it's nominated for an award. Quarter-finalist means it's got to that phase. Semi-finalist means it's got to the semi-finals phase. Final means it's got to the finals phase. These are all very, you know, per festival, as I mentioned before, everyone's different. An award winner too is means it's won an award. So again, this doesn't happen for every festival, but most of the time it's going to be just changes selected or not selected. Okay. And when you submit your film to a festival, this is what you do. I'll give you a nice example. You can do a live submission. So Beverly Hills Festival. So obviously look at the pictures. Is it real? Yes. Sharon Stone. Looks a bit younger, but Sharon Stone's there, current people, you know, so, you know, they're in the cinema, step and repeat, so people are there, so it looks like it's good. So yes, so we get that a yes. So we can then just go to about and then click on submit. In my case, it'll be again. And you scroll down to your film, the storm, and then click the appropriate category and then add to the cart. Some festivals, again, it's that golden rule, they're all different. Some might ask extra questions. When you do the Sundance submission, they have a lot of questions to ask, other questions. I think Tribeca do. Let me just have a look at Tribeca. Let me see what Tribeca do. Yeah, so you can submit now because they're open submissions. Yeah, so again, you know, they ask if it's been screened to the public and if it has, not eligible to submit. Is it work in progress? If it is, when will it be finished by? The genre? Any awards you've won previously, festival history, they can look at where it's been before. And has it been accepted? If you were accepted, would it have to be virtual? Would you accept that? Would you agree to having your film online as part of the hybrid edition? So they're also very, you know, fair questions. That's why with a cover letter, they're not always that relevant, because if they want to know something, the festival, they ask you when you have to submit. So again, may or may not get read. Every festival is different. So that's the key things of Film Freeway. As I mentioned before, there are other things to talk about during my course about this, and also the other episodes we go into more detail, obviously on a one-to-one basis with you on the course. This is to help you get that kickstart, give you the information you need to know to help you on the journey when you begin this fun, feel-like, and extremely interesting process. You'll love it. It's an amazing process. You learn lots on the way. Think of the festivals as a learning curve. Think of them as a learning curve, and a way to like learn more about you as a filmmaker when you do Q&As and where your film fits and feedback from it, you know, and what awards you know, what awards you might win or might win. It's just really interesting kind of process, and I really want to be with you by your side on this journey. I love doing this. It's my full-time job. I was born to do it, and I just it's part of my identity. I love what I do. So any follow-up questions, put in the chat below and I'll answer them. Any questions you have, DM me. Any questions about the course, DM me, or look at my website and Instagram. Instagram is at Rebekah Film Doctor. That's REBEKAHFILMDR. Find me on LinkedIn as well. But the best way is always, you know, always good on Instagram. And get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to help you. Thank you for watching and see you soon.